Awesome. In Hebrew, they say, "Akol's the timing." Everything is about timing. Baruch Hashem. Thank you very much to everyone that's here Monday morning, 9:15 here in Yerushalayim, and of course to Mordechai and Raya for hosting the shir and broadcasting it live, right here on Zoom and on Facebook Live. We're learning the amazing subject of bitachon, strengthening our trust and certainty in Hashem. That is the foundation of all of everything that we do. Then we are set. We are now middle of the long chapter Gimel, chapter 3. I think it's amazing and very, very interesting. So now we are up to the paragraph which starts with the word v'kivan. And it starts as follows, v'kivan. V'kivan she'itbarer chiyuv hagilgul al sibot b'nei adam. Since we've explained the obligation for the human being to make an effort, to strive, to seek mediums in order to find their parnasa, their livelihood. Nevairata. Now we will explain. Ki ein kol adam chayav l'chazer al kol siba misibot hateref. Not every person has the obligation to seek and to make an effort to look for what he needs with all kinds of reasons and all kinds of methods. Shaharei rabim, there are many ways. Each one, every person has their own way that Hashem has set out for them. That they should find their needs. Yesh mehem kalim. Some of them have an easy way. Sha'torach bahem muat. That the effort is a small effort. Kischora b'chanut, for example, selling merchandise in the store, or melechet yad, or something which is made by hand, carved or created by hand. Shetirchata mu'etet, that has a little effort. Kagon, for example, tfira v'ariga, sewing and weaving, or melechet asofrut, or writing, like writing. Either you're talking about documenting an occasion or something that happens in a courthouse. Today it's a little easier. It's even easier because today you have computers. The itzura mischarim, or some people are like a treasurer and you're in charge of, or like an accountant. Then you have uschir harisim v'poalim, and being a realtor, for example, or managing manpower, and also v'hashamashim v'avodat ha'adama, people that are responsible for overlooking the workers. So you have the workers themselves who overlooks them. The yeshmem tzia parnasa. Some of them have yigia v'torach. Some of them have a major work. Ki ibud haorot. For example, we're reading in these parshas now about the slavery of Am Yisroel in Mitzrayim, in Egypt. And over there, we read last week that they had avodat perech. They had a very, very difficult slave labor. And in this week's parsha, we read it this morning in davening, that they could not pay proper attention to Moshe mikotzer ruach u'me'avodah kasha, from a shortness of breath and from a difficult work. One of the interpretations of difficult labor is that the men had to do women's work and women had to do men's work. So we're talking now about different types of work. Some are easier, some are more difficult. It's not only dependent on how much sweat you have, it's also nafshit. It's also in your soul. What is cut out for you? If you do a job which is not fit for you, then you'll be working much harder at it. It's really important for when a person, when a teenager, when a young adult chooses what they should do in life, is do something which they enjoy. There are so many people that work for decades and they come home and they didn't enjoy what they did. That's in a sense called a very big slave labor, avodat perech, and that's why in Mitzrayim Paro switched the jobs. He did a job which is usually for men. He said that he gave those to women. That's for sure difficult because men usually do difficult slave labor. But the chidush is, innovation is that even a woman's job, which is usually physically at least easier, for a man that was called avodat perech. Why? Why is it avodat perech? It's maybe not schlepping, maybe it's sewing, or maybe cooking. Some men like doing that as well, but most men probably, I'm guessing, they don't have the adinut, the sensitivity and the softness, the softness of the soul which a woman has, and that can drive a guy crazy, and that can be considered avodat perech, that can be considered slave labor for the man because he's doing a woman's job. So in other words, there are different levels on what's called easy work or difficult work. And he brings a whole list of different types of labor. You might have a person who is strong in his body, but his mind is weak. His mind is not as strong. It is befitting that the person should choose a type of work that has more effort than the body, because his body can stand by the challenge. For example, we're just moving now one of our machsanim, storages, and the guys, wonderful boys. Some of them are chayalim to be, and you could see that they pick up stuff that they're very, very, very capable, and it's beautiful to see how a person makes their interest and their work befitting their abilities that Hashem has granted them. It's no one's better or less. It is what it is. And therefore, if someone is strong, a person should do their work, to do their job, which is befitting to them. According to how much he could take. And someone that is weak, sort of weak, and someone that is physically weak, but his mind is strong. So he should not seek to go and carry big things and to do hard labor, hard work. Al yivakesh misibot hateref mashamiyagea gufo. Beautiful words. How the Chovot HaLevavot explains this. He should not seek a kind of job which makes him his body worked up. Achite el mashiyeh kalal gufo. He should do something which is easy, physically hard at what he's doing in his own way, in his own unique way. Every person has a desire to do work, a specific work, more than other things. Hashem put in his nature a connection that he is drawn to a certain type of work. And also also with animals. So, like for example, Hashem placed in the nature of a cat to go and capture mice. And the larger birds have a nature to go and capture the smaller birds. ובטבע האייל, צידת הנחשים, and the deer has the nature of capturing snakes. So too there are some birds that capture the fish. Some of the animals they eat and they're drawn to different types of other things that are alive. It has been entrenched in his nature, deep. Hashem placed into his nature a reason for this food. Beautiful. Hashem made his body and his limbs befitting that specific tafkid, that specific purpose that he has in this world. Like the long mouth and the beak and the long thighs that a certain birds have, which go and are able to fish out the fish. Like Hashem made that the lion should have strong teeth and strong nails. And the horns for the ox and for the deer. Someone's food, he's going to get his food from the vegetables or things, vegetation, that which grows. So Hashem did not give him different ways how to capture and to seek their food in a more aggressive way. In this similarity, you can find the nature of people, the gufotam, and their bodies, that Hashem prepared them for the different types of jobs that they'll have to do. And if someone finds in his midot, in his emotions and his nature, a desire for a certain kind of work, and his body should be befitting for it, and he can take the hard effort. He should look after it. And he should make it as a way, as a medium to bring his food. And he should he should be able to stomach the sweetness and the bitterness, and he should not be disgusted from it if he doesn't find an easy, quote unquote, easy parnasa from it. Ella yivtach be'elokim, he should trust in Hashem. Sheyizamen lot mizono kol yimei chayav, that he will give him his food all the days of his life. So we're going to stop over here. Thank you very much for joining us. And Bezrat Hashem, next time we'll continue. We look forward to seeing you often. And of course, tomorrow evening, first of all, tonight is the yard site of the Alter Rebbe. Chav Dalet Tevet. I had the zechut of going and being at the Alter Rebbe's kever a few times in the last couple of years. And it's a great zechut. And tomorrow evening, we're going to have a special shiur, and hopefully we'll connect it to the Torah of the Alter Rebbe. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day and a great week. Kol Tov.